Hello and welcome to Pink Floyd, the only podcast where we watch every movie to see what syncs up to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler and joining me is James Barron. Hey James.
Oh, hi, how's it going? It's James Barron here in sunny Christchurch, New Zealand.
Oh, I'm in sunny Auckland, New Zealand, and just like everyone
yeah.
in Auckland, New Zealand, I'm staying in and recording a podcast.
Yeah, that's our new national pastime,
Yeah.
I think. And that we're all trapped indoors, and so what a better time. There's no better time to record a podcast.
Yeah, you know how your Facebook group chats are all filled with great podcast ideas? Just get out there. Fill them up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so yes, as Gareth just eloquently put at the opening of the podcast, our mission is to watch every film ever made,
Yeah.
synced up with the fantastic 1973 album, The Dark Side of the Moon, by Pink Floyd. Hence the title, Pink Floyd.
Oh, such a good title. What's your relationship with Dark Side of the Moon, James?
Oh man, I was introduced to Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon by my father. He's big into music. He's got a really extensive record collection, and it was one of the first albums that he played to me on like a family holiday, just in the car. You know, we just listened to the entire Dark Side of the Moon back to back. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite albums. It's a really, really good one.
Nice.
Having just heard it 2.5 times, it's still really good. I'm glad that I still enjoy it. Yeah. What about yourself? What's your experience?
Mine's
with the
incredibly similar, except it was my dad, not your dad.
album? Oh, good.
That would have been weird because I didn't know you when I was this age, so it would have been really
Yeah,
weird if I was
that's
just
true.
hanging out with your dad.
Yeah.
My dad bought it on CD and he'd play it in the car on long road trips, and I remember it like terrified me. I remember going into school. I had like French class, and I sat down
yeah?
next to my friend Ben, and I was just like, "Have you heard of this guy Pink Floyd? He is terrifying." Because like all I could
He
remember
is
was like
terrifying.
clocks and screaming and like
Yeah.
all these sound effects and stuff. And then it was like years later before I actually could listen to it on its own, and I was just like, "Oh no, this is great. This is awesome."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see how it could be very, very scary
Yeah.
as a young kid.
Much like the
Man.
film we watched is very, very scary if you're a
Oh
young
my
kid,
God,
or anyone
yes.
really. So
Yeah.
for our first trip around the sun, we've chosen.
Around the moon.
Hey, that's why you're on this show. For our first trip around the moon to the dark side of it,
Yeah.
we've chosen to watch 2004's. I don't even know how to begin to describe this film.
Romance/drama is how I
Yeah.
would describe it. Me and Wikipedia would describe it as such.
Oh, brilliant. This is a film, it's probably the only film written, directed, and produced by Tommy Wiseau. And it is The Room, 2004.
Yes, it's written by him and Greg Sestero, his co-star in the movie.
Yeah.
Also author of The Disaster Artist.
Yes.
A book about the movie.
Have you read The
Making
Disaster
of it.
Artist?
I have not, but I've seen the film
Oh, yeah.
adaptation.
Both great. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I had like a real summer of The Room 2 years ago where I watched The Room, watched The Disaster Artist, read the book, watched both of them again in cinemas, and that was my first seeing The Room in cinema kind of experience.
Man.
Which, if
Yeah,
you get
I've
the
never seen it in a
chance,
cinema.
if you get the chance, it's so good. The best part is, like every audience is quite different, but both times I've seen it in cinemas now, the audience start chanting "Go, go, go" every time there's a panning shot of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh yeah, there is a fair bit of that.
Yeah.
I think the same shot is played twice. I think
Yes.
it's shown once and then it's shown as a reverse so that you don't notice it as much.
Yeah. And only once does it actually reach the end of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that's when everyone goes nuts and like cheers.
Ah,
It's the
dream.
best. Yeah.
Truly a highlight, the San Francisco setting of the film. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. It really feels like San Francisco, you know? I've been there once and I met a lot of weird people.
It sure is one room.
I'd say it's the room, not even our room. You
Yes. Yeah.
know? How many times have you seen The Room?
Oh my god. Probably upwards of 20 times
Oh.
at this point. I've seen it a lot. I had a brief period where I was like showing it to a bunch of people in my life.
Yeah.
I've seen it with my parents, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of I've seen it probably more than anyone should. I wouldn't even say that I'm a massive fan of the movie, like, but I have seen it a lot of times. It is an experience to be fair, but it's good to have a shared experience, and I appreciate you picking it as our first film to match with this album.
So we watched this separately, and it would be the first time I've actually watched The Room alone, and my word, it kind of, especially when you're hearing the same album again during it. It sort of drags as a film.
Oh, it is a long one. I was checking the old timeline as we were going, and I was like, "Oh man, this is 30 minutes in." Okay,
yeah,
sure. Yeah, no, it's a long one, and there's not a lot going on.
No,
but I sure did pick out several things to talk about. So,
yes, should we crack into it? How does The Room hold up when you listen to it? When you watch it, sorry, on mute, subtitles on, listening exclusively to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. I've just got some notable sync-ups.
Oh, yes. You know. Should we go chronologically?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, maybe we'll start, like, thematically. How does it sync for you? Like,
thematically?
Yeah.
Well, I've gone... one of my notes is that Dark Side of the Moon is a concept album with themes exploring conflict, greed, time, death, and mental illness. And I would say that this movie covers all those themes pretty well. Arguably mental illness. But yeah, I would say it's pretty close in terms of theming. Yeah, it's... so sync-wise, in terms of general theme, that's a strong contender.
Yeah.
Right there.
I wrote... so I realized only once I hit play that I was supposed to take notes. So I've written on the back of an unfinished crossword. And at the top, with an arrow pointing to it, I've written, "It's sexy music for a sexy movie." And I stand by that.
That's some great opening thoughts. I really enjoy that. Oh my gosh. Also, very typical recording a podcast note-taking. I like that a lot.
Oh, good.
Good.
You know.
Yeah. Once recorded notes on the back of a bus ticket for a podcast that I did. Yeah, so it's relatable content for Jaden Sparron.
Well, that's good. If this relates to... Pretty much you're the only person who will relate to this show, but hopefully people will listen to it.
Yeah, what a brilliant concept, eh? Anyway, so first of all, we're starting the film out. We got the ticking clock noise, the heartbeat, and then clocks coming in and various other samples from the future of the album, you know, and then we just launch straight into Breathe, right?
Yeah.
Over just really, really idyllic shots of nature and the city of San Francisco. It's honestly really nice. I think Breathe is probably my favorite Pink Floyd song.
Yeah, I might actually join you on that.
And yeah, it's just so serene seeing all this stuff as we launch into the film, and I was put at ease.
You know, I'd say San Francisco's like another character in The Room, you know?
Yes, the city is a character trope. Yeah, very common. I would say it's a frequently absent character.
Yeah, it doesn't really... You just check in on it for establishing shots that then take you back to the same room you've always been in.
It's a bit part role that has inexplicable sex scenes thrown in for good measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as is the tone of the movie. So the very first sync that I have, it's a minor one. It's not a good one. But,
okay.
Don't sit down. It's time to dig another one. Johnny just stands up as soon as that line hits.
See, I got that as well. I wouldn't say that's a minor one. I thought that was probably one of the best.
That's significant.
Yeah.
I've got some perlers coming up, mate.
Good.
You are not ready. That's. I thought that was good starting out as this an early note, but man, does it get better?
Oh, yay. My next one was like as the scary kind of drums start is when Denny takes his bite of the apple, which is like,
oh yeah,
that's in cinemas everyone will yell out symbolism when he does that because that's when he's really, you know, deciding to go and perv on his friends having sex, which the scariest drum is needed.
I'm not sure what that's a symbol of, but it sure is a thing. Denny as a character deeply confuses me.
Yes.
And I think him appearing as on the run plays is actually pretty appropriate. 'Cause that's one of the most intense songs on the album.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of Denny scenes happen in kind of scarier parts of the album.
Yeah,
which we'll get
absolutely. He's just. I imagine that On the Run is constantly playing on loop inside of Denny's mind.
Yeah. So Denny, the actor, is supposed to be like, I think he's actually in his 20s?
In this film, when
Yeah.
this was shot, he's like mid-20s.
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
and they don't address his age, they just address that he has homework.
He's supposed to be in like high school, I think.
Yeah.
He's finishing high school and living in an apartment that Johnny rents to him rent free, basically, or lets him live in rent free. Because he's such a good man.
He is.
And
you should
Lisa
marry
just-
him.
Yeah, Lisa just can't see it, so
No.
we'll get to that. I put my next note is that seeing we had subtitles on as we watched the movie, and seeing lyrics to a different soundtrack, a different song appear on screen while characters are having sex, and just seeing that and hearing Pink Floyd is a very jarring experience.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Because that sex scene song is on YouTube, and I listen to it sometimes just around the house because I think it slaps.
That one in particular?
Yeah, they're like, "You are my wildest dream come true." It's just like, yeah.
Oh, wow. The "You Are My Rose" song, I think,
Yes.
is one of the most unforgivable songs in a movie. And a future note that I have says that I go into detail about how I'm so happy that I'm not hearing that song at the moment. I'm only seeing it.
It does, like, just to take like a wider step back, it changes the room. Like, I guess you'll say like the temperature of the room when you're not hearing the voices, especially Johnny's voice.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
His dialogue appears a lot more coherent than it's delivered in the film.
Yes, for sure.
So, yeah, when it's just the marvelous script work on display, you can really follow it quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that some like clock sounds begin still during the sex scene, and it's pretty much just hammering in that these sex scenes go on for way too long. Because that was exactly how me and the audience felt. It was just like, yeah, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah. My note is these guys are completely ignoring these damn loud clocks going off while they're having sex. Oh my gosh.
You know,
Eventually,
sometimes...
he checks the clock in the following morning scene.
Yeah.
He does eventually, but by then the clocks have stopped.
No.
Mate. It's far too late. That is not a sync.
Oh, rude.
What a disgrace.
Well, actually, my overall theory, which it might be a bit soon to get into, is it's almost like they wanted to sync it, but then he started stretching out the sex scenes. Because there's a couple points where it really is just like a minute or two out of what would have been perfect.
Yeah. It's what could have been a cautionary tale in terms of syncing your movie to Pink Floyd. Yes. My next one, I've got Home Again plays. This is like what is that part? That's that plays as soon as Mark is entering Lisa and Johnny's house. So he's entering their home.
Yeah.
But
Again.
what will become his home, perhaps.
That's how it works, right? If you sleep with someone who has a house, you get their house.
Well, yeah, but yes. I think commonly that's common law,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, pretty surreal.
Yeah.
It's just launching into the second sex scene in this film already is in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got my next one just before that actually. The female vocal in Great Gig in the Sky just hits on as soon as Mark removes Lisa's hand from his face and then they start arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly when he realizes he's gone too far.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. And it just gets more intense from there. And then it calms, the vocal slows down and gets more serene when they kiss for the first time.
You're so right. I also noticed a little earlier, Lisa turns around exactly in time with a slide guitar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that was good.
I wasn't catching as many audio stings, as it were.
Yeah. It's
like
hard.
sync ups.
Because you get kind of hurt. You're like, you notice the first couple stings that would have been perfect. And then like you just stop trying to look for them. You're like, no, I won't get fooled again. But then this one got me. This one got me.
Nice. Some quality stuff.
Yeah.
What have we got next?
Well, after that, we kind of get into what would be side 2 of the vinyl with Money coming in. And again, if these sex scenes had been a little shorter, Money would have been perfectly synced up for the entirety of the scene where they talk about money, where Johnny buys roses, he doesn't get his promotion.
Yeah, it's very jarring at launching in the middle of the sex scene again, unfortunately. But just as the clocks in time were quite jarring the first time. But c'est la vie, that's how it goes sometimes.
Sometimes you think about money during sex, and no one wants to.
But the future scenes do match the theme of money quite well, I think. So we launch into the iconic flower shop scene, which has the fastest dialogue in cinema history.
Yeah, watching those subtitles struggle to keep up.
Yeah, my gosh. The line "do goody good bullshit" is what plays when he pats the dog on the counter for no apparent reason.
That is goody good.
Yeah, it's some do goody good bullshit, really. It's pretty apt.
Yeah, patting that dog, not on the script. In fact, no one else noticed there was a dog except for Tommy Wiseau.
What a sweet ad-lib.
I know, right?
Honestly.
His most powerful acting.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a golden moment in the film.
Yeah.
So, the tail end of Money is playing when they're talking about Johnny not getting his promotion, and that's a really good match just for the themes of money and like being cheated by money. He feels like he's being used by the bank and being made a fool of by them because they aren't like giving him the promotion. It's like a really good match for the theme of the song, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Good work. Good work, everybody.
There's some detective work in the movie that I'm doing. I'm putting in the work, trying to get these syncs going. So the next scene is when Lisa gets him to start drinking. Notably, Johnny doesn't drink, and he has a drink. Just quick question: there's no sync about this in this scene, but does Lisa top up a glass of whiskey with vodka in this scene?
Scotch and vodka, yeah.
Holy shit, is that a powerful cocktail?
It's mighty, right?
Yeah.
If you go to the Hollywood cinema in Auckland and they're playing The Room, they'll serve you scotchka. Don't drink it. It is not fun.
That's a nightmare of a drink.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder. I can't believe that Johnny's able to perform in the following scene. Like, that's out of control.
Yeah.
It's like having about 5 or 6 shots at once.
Yeah. And they're just sipping it, eating their pizza.
Yeah.
Although it is good they're eating their pizza during the "Don't Take a Slice of My Pie" song, even though it doesn't really show pizza when he says that. I'm still pretty stoked.
Pretty great. Pretty good stuff.
And then a kind of money faded out just as this third sex scene made of unused footage in the first sex scene begins, which I appreciated.
It's a mercifully short sex scene because they obviously were just reusing shots that they didn't use.
And some that they did.
And some that they did from the previous one. Because you only really want to shoot that one once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got another quick note that at the end of Money there's a little just a spoken word where he says, I don't know, I was really drunk at the time.
Whoa.
Which is pretty appropriate for the sex scene that occurs. So the next scene is yet another sex scene, mate. We're just going through these. We're plowing through these ones, mate. So it's just it's arguably not a sex scene. It's the 2 bit part characters show up at the house.
Ah, yes,
They're called Mike and Michelle.
Yeah.
Which I love because that implies that they're Michelle and Michael, which is just some great character.
I didn't even think of that. That is so good.
Yeah. I just want a quick shout out to Mike for knowing exactly what kind of film that he's in.
Yes.
His acting in this.
When he
It's golden.
like his shirt gets taken off and he goes and she says arms up and he just like a child just shoots those arms straight up.
So good.
And then his face. So it is, he's so right. He knew, like, he got on set, he saw what was happening. He saw Tommy Wiseau directing his own film with 2 cameras taped together, and he was just like, all right, throwing my arms up. Losing me underwears.
Yeah, oh man. His delivery is pitch perfect.
Yeah.
He just knows where he is, what he should be doing, and he crushes it.
Yeah, even on mute, subtitles, I found him killing it. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off him.
It's a visual performance that is only amplified by the dulcet tones of Pink Floyd.
Do you think he did his own hair before he got to set, or do you think hair and makeup was doing it?
I imagine that is his true style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his personal look. I don't think he's in costume at all. He just rocked up.
Yeah. He wasn't even supposed to act. He just walked in.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And Tommy was like, shh, let it roll.
Was that your Tommy Wiseau?
Yeah, it was not good.
No.
You know, Tommy Wiseau.
Oh,
he has French last name.
Yeah, sure. Is it French, actually? I didn't know that.
I think so, yeah. That adds to his mystery of where he's from.
Yeah, because nobody really knows.
Yeah.
He is a mysterious figure in pop culture.
I love him.
Just quickly, I want to double back. We haven't at all covered the, like, mum having cancer stuff. Which is pretty appropriate because it's not covered by the film, really. It's sort of brushed off.
Yeah.
That is probably the storyline that would best fit, like, the themes of the album. It's about, like, confronting death, and no one is paying attention to it at all in the movie. It just sort of, she just says it's definitely breast cancer, and the next line is, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Which is just some good stuff.
And then she just wants to talk more. She doesn't even care. She wants to talk more about her real estate struggles with her ex-husband.
Yeah.
And then Lisa tries to say, like, focus on getting better, but nah. But then, Carol, was it Claudette? Shit. Claudette's forgotten.
Claudette, yes. The mum character. Lisa's mum.
So what we really wanted was, for this one time we were watching it with Pink Floyd, is that suddenly the camera just follows Claudette and we get to just see Claudette.
That's the dream. It just, like, lingers on her.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, the vocal, like, everyone's talking and it just fades out and we just follow her out the door.
Yeah, because she is constantly leaving.
Yeah, she is.
She's got places to be.
Yeah, that's got to be a metaphor, surely.
Yeah.
I may be giving the film a little bit too much credit.
Do you think maybe she's already dead? Because her whole role is to, like, be...
she's like a voice of reason.
Lisa's, yeah, exactly. And maybe she died ages ago. Lisa feels so guilty. She's acting out, but she sees her mum as this perfect presence.
That's some next level stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, great read on the film, Garrett. Thank you for that.
I think we can be scholars on the room.
Yeah.
Surely there's an online course we can do.
After seeing it 20 times, I feel like I've been at least partially qualified.
Would this be your strangest room watch experience?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
like nothing tops the first time, but in terms of weirdness, because that was surrounded by close friends and we had no idea what we were in for.
Did we see it for the first time together?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
At a friend's place, and it's it sure starts out like a softcore porn, doesn't it? Like
it sure does.
It doesn't hold back from the get go, but then it does sort of descend into something else. So my next sync is one of my top ones, Gareth. Right? This is a big one. There is a clean as hell scene change into Any Color You Like, which syncs perfectly with Denny getting mugged on the rooftop.
Yes, yeah.
Like like the two first notes of that song hit as I can't remember the character's name.
Chris R.
Yes,
and
Chris
that R is important.
His 2 feet touch the top of the stairs as that song starts, and it is golden. There's a sweeping shot of Denny like looking at Chris R as he's walking up. He knows what's about to happen.
Yeah.
It is dramatic as hell. It's great.
It's so good, and it's because it's complete like it's a change thematically for the album as well. To suddenly get into and the film to suddenly get into this like drug crime drama, and we're like, is this it? Is this what the film's really about?
Nowhere.
It's not though.
We've just established Denny's backstory in the previous scene, I think, with like Lisa explaining his role and what his deal is with Johnny. and then immediately that is thrown out the window.
Yeah.
As we see that he's like dealing drugs, question mark, or buying them at least.
At least buying them. No implication that he's doing them, because everyone's just angry at
No.
him for like having them.
Yeah,
As far as I can tell.
wouldn't trust Denny to do the drugs. I think
No.
he'd just buy them just to say that he had them.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And later, like, on the roof as well, Mark is like smoking weed. Do you think Denny is Mark's dealer?
Oh, now that's a great read. If only. I like that.
There's a whole backstory that Greg Sestero tried to write for the film to kind of keep him occupied while he was acting. That Mark was a undercover FBI officer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like when you see him at the start and he's in a car with sunglasses on, like Mark was just like, yeah, I'm on a stakeout.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which doesn't
And then
really get picked up.
He shaves his beard in the middle of the film for no reason, and everyone comments on it. Maybe that's something to do with his cover.
Yeah, exactly. It got blown, but luckily no one's going to recognize him with babyface.
That is true. So
have you seen... Oh, sorry. Have you seen Greg's other film with Tommy Wiseau?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's Best Fiends or Best Friends.
Yes.
In two parts.
It was made far later, right?
Yeah, it was made year before last.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's some of it is amazing. Like I legitimately turned to my friend at the friend during it and was just like, I think this movie might be really good. And then it tricks you. It tricks you because then it's an hour of dealing with just this really awful cowboy character.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it just wraps up. And then Paul Scheer shows up. Which, yeah, he's a highlight.
That's always nice to see that, man.
Yeah, so I feel like that film is almost what we would be getting if it just focused on the Chris R sideline. Because there's a lot of like, wheeling and dealing and gangsters and stuff in that. So again, if the camera had just stuck on Chris R and followed him away, we would have got a completely different film. And that film does happily exist.
Sweet. Oh man, I have to check that one out. Maybe in a future episode.
Oh, hey.
Oh. So this is where the first loop of the album ends at this point. It's we get a clips playing right when Denny is basically confronting Johnny about being in love with Lisa.
Yeah.
Denny's got like a crush on her. And this is kind of like a microcosm of the whole film, I would say. It's like a good wrap up of the album.
Yeah.
But it's like about someone being in love with someone they shouldn't be and feeling guilt over that, or not, as the case may be. But like it's sort of like a mini version of the problems that are going to come up later in the film.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's a good end to this first act of the album, as it were. So,
and the sentimental, like all that you touch, all that you feel kind of stuff happens exactly when Johnny's being quite sentimental and talking about love, making the world a better place.
Yeah, he launches into like a monologue.
Yeah.
Basically of covering his thoughts on love and life, and it's a good like wrap up to the end.
Yeah. And then that's when it really hit me that, oh my god, we've got so much more of this film to go.
Yeah, we're going to hear this album one full time through and then a little bit more as well. So I'm very excited to get into that.
Oh yeah.
So the next bit I have is Breathe playing over the first fight between Lisa and Johnny.
Yes.
They have like a bit of a confrontation. The "You're tearing me apart, Lisa," the famous line, is over the line "Run, Rabbit, Run" in the song "Breathe," as Lisa tries to get up to leave. He stops her and like shoves her back and goes, "You're tearing me apart!" Like at that bit.
Yeah.
And this is also where we get our first shot of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's balanced on the biggest wave is playing. That's the line there, which. That's a bridge over water. That's close enough, right?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, it's interesting that Breathe played when they were so in love, and now it plays again when they're like falling out of love. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. We get to hear some clock sounds when Johnny's doing his like hacking with the alarm. No, what's
tape
it called?
Recorder.
Yeah.
The tape. Yeah, he's gonna record the telephone with a little tape deck.
Yeah. He'll show them. He'll record everything.
Yeah. this doesn't come up until like right at the end of the film, where I thought it would like have come up way sooner because these guys were calling each other all the time.
Yes,
I guess that tape's really short. But then it must have been recording for like weeks.
Yeah.
Like, because he only listens to like the final dialogue that like happens anyway.
Yeah, you've got a good point.
It's strange that it's set up here when there's a full like 50 minutes left in the film, I want to say.
I mean, that's I guess, that's how you tell a story. You don't just bring out a gun and say, this is Chekhov's gun, and then shoot someone. You lay it low.
Oh,
you put it on a table and plug a wire into it,
That'd be a straightforward film, though.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah,
this is the perfect film. Hello, I don't like you. I don't like you. This is Chekhov's gun. Bang, and then the credits roll.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Yeah,
Man,
he probably needed to say why he didn't like him.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
We would have had a flashback.
Yes.
To him saying, I don't like you, and then there'll be like him saying that the previous day and saying why.
Yes. Now we're talking. Oh, now you're getting artsy on the perfect film. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, credits roll, post-credit scene, the guy who shot the guy joins the Avengers. Perfect film.
Of course. Yeah, Nick Fury's in the background.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen.
Hang on.
There
Spot
we
the
go.
Easter eggs. Lisa comes home during Home Again.
Yes, I noted this as well.
Yes.
That is a good sync.
That is in all caps on my notes.
It's when Mark, Peter, and Johnny are all hanging out.
Oh,
Peter, this is his introduction scene. He's the psychiatrist. In the group. I love Peter as a character. I think
same.
he's like the most fleshed out. Weirdly, he's got like a decent backstory. He like nearly gets killed at one point for no real reason. It's great,
and he vanishes soon after.
Yes.
And that was because
he falls over.
Yeah.
So this happens several times. People are playing, they're throwing the ball around.
Yeah.
And then someone gets injured, and then they either leave the film for a really long period of time, or they never come back. Like Peter just doesn't come back at the party. Like bit part character guy, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah.
He comes back at the party, but he is gone for a large portion of the film.
Yeah. He's been in hospital.
Yes. Yeah, clearly.
That's why he's wearing That's why he's wearing his big polar fleeces, because he's in a full body cast underneath. Yeah.
Makes sense. There you go. Another part of this, Lisa literally kneels down as the line calls the faithful to their knees.
Whoa.
Is gone.
See, Lisa is listening as the music's playing here. Everyone else,
she's listening,
who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. So my next note, Great Gig in the Sky is playing as tension mounts between Peter and Mark. So there's another high tension scene with Great Gig in the Sky playing.
It's another sign that Greg is turning bad. It plays both times he does a bad thing. He attacks Peter, and the second time he has sex with Lisa the first time.
Yes. Just the vocal is coming in really hard, and again the fight de-escalates as soon as the vocal starts getting more serene and calm. It's both times that happens. The first time it's they kiss and the tension is dropped and then they go have sex. And this one the fight is over and they talk for a little bit and then leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the tension is rising, it reaches its climax and then falls back along with the vocal, which is a nice sync. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Good work, Greg.
Okay, so at the start of Money, people are buying coffees at the cafe, Gareth.
Yes. And what are they buying those coffees with?
They're buying it with money.
What? Dun, 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 dun,
Also,
dun, dun.
I'd like to note that the line money is said by characters both times Money plays.
Whoa, yeah.
They're talking about money at the bank thing when Money's playing the first time. And then this time, somebody says money. They're talking about money again. They're talking about the job again.
Yeah.
In the cafe. Mark and Johnny are discussing.
Yeah. It is. That's probably the perfect, because that's the only time money really comes up in the album as well.
Yeah.
And it's only those times. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only time it shows up in the film. And it's also yeah, it's just wild that it happens. Like, that can't be coincidence. It's gotta be intentional. Like, the fact that it comes up exactly at the same time, like during the same song.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's a solid sync for me.
Yeah.
That's an A+ sync.
I'm glad you're giving out A+ syncs. I was worried you were going to be stingy with those.
Nah, man, this one and the earlier one when what was it? I can't remember. Yeah, like both money scenes are probably the top syncs for me.
Yeah. The A+
That
syncs.
and the Great Gig in the Sky tension scenes.
Yeah.
Are both very strong. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like Lisa is listening to the lyrics.
Yes.
And like the capitalism is listening to the music, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So here is the real drought of the film for me.
I'm so glad you said that. I have no notes for ages.
Yeah, so the fourth sex scene happens, and from here on, I didn't catch any syncs. And I was really disappointed. I was really looking.
That's
I was
good.
like, it was very disappointing. It was a low ebb for me in my
Same,
watch.
yeah.
Yeah, but not until the party do we get any real kind of coincidence happening.
See, it's times like, it's when you say stuff like this that really makes me think, oh, we're doing a science here, because I too, nothing until the party. Like, if this was what people argue, like, syncing things up with Dark Side of the Moon is, where it's just coincidence, then we'd have all kinds of, like, disparities. Would have, like, oh, but when they go running, you're hearing, like, a running drum beat or something. But no, it is an ebb, both in the narrative of the film and the syncs. It's, only Pink Floyd are lifting any weight for, like, a good 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're doing their best, but the material they're working with is not good.
No.
Anyway, we're going to skip straight to the party, I reckon, because there's nothing more to be said. Alright, so during the party, they're like outside, well, like, they get, Lisa encourages everyone to go outside.
Yeah.
And then starts, like, making out with old mate Mark. And this is when Brain Damage is playing at the tail end of the album, and it's like the lunatic is on the grass, like they're talking about. Basically, this is the unraveling of Lisa as a character. They get found out by another random character who I don't think is named.
Yeah.
But
how nice does his tucked in shirt look?
Oh, he's great. I like this guy.
Yeah, same.
He has strong values and is like coming down on them hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that this is wrong, and he's got a lot to say about it. But yeah, it's just sort of this just unraveling of Lisa continues on as we launch into we get the reveal that they're expecting during the song, and it's just it's not good. It's a worrying scene.
Yeah. Because they're not expecting. She just made it up to make things interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man.
Which then, maybe, did she learn that from the mother and the breast cancer was never a thing?
Maybe. Oh, man. Is that like a read on the movie that the breast cancer is a fake thing? Is she's just doing that for attention?
Yeah.
That's
because she does say earlier in the scene before, like, nobody listens to me, and then Lisa just isn't listening to her.
I think,
but I still think she's a ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we can't go back on that great read.
No.
That's theory one. This is theory two.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Again, this is how you know we're doing a science.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Eclipse is the turning point where Mark and Johnny are pushing each other, starting to fight each other, and the climax of that's quite dramatic, seeing them fight each other to Eclipse.
And because Eclipse... Oh, sorry. You go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Because Eclipse played earlier when Johnny was essentially talking about peace, it's really like it's a powerful contrast the second time we get to hear it.
Absolutely.
Hate is all around them. War has come to the room.
War has come to the room.
The room, Infinity War.
Wow. Nick Fury in the background of the party.
Yes. The perfect movie.
Yeah. He's holding Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that closes out, unfortunately, and we just get the heartbeats as they are fighting each other.
Yes.
Again, very dramatic. And cuts to silence as the album starts its loop, and then more heartbeats as it ramping up. There's still fighting, and then they go upstairs, or Johnny goes upstairs, retreats.
I noticed
hide in the
Lisa
bathroom.
yells out, "It's over." Slightly late,
Yes.
but she didn't have any lyrics to give her a cue. But it was
close.
close enough.
Yeah.
I'll give it like
Again-
a C plus sync.
Yeah. Okay. Shorter sex scenes would have allowed for a better sync there.
Yeah, you're speaking my language.
Yeah. Okay, so in our second play, Lisa is packing to leave, and I think probably move in with Mark. I'm not sure. As the line, "Leave, don't leave me,"
Yes.
plays, which is good stuff. And breathe. And then the footsteps of "On the Run" just kick in, and like "On the Run's" the driving track with the hard drums and stuff, but then there's some like footsteps and like strange samples throughout. The footsteps coincide with her running down the stairs and leaving Johnny.
Oh, dang. Good catch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a minor like audio. That's probably my only audio cue one that I caught, but I was pretty impressed by that one. It's really, I thought this song is really matching the anguish that Johnny is feeling here. It's just, he's destroying his own apartment, and it's just ramping up more and more and more.
Yeah, it's Johnny versus the room, you know? The soul of the character versus the name of the film. And I found his rampage ends exactly when the song ends and we get into the synth solo ends.
Yeah. Yes.
And we get a bit of silence as he, dare I say, shoots himself. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I didn't see a perfect sync with the gunshot, unfortunately.
No,
I don't
was
know if that's
waiting
unfortunate
so
or
hard.
not, but
I wanted to
But yeah,
hear like a Pink Floyd just go like bang.
yeah, unfortunate for us from a scientific perspective. I thought. It was a bit of a shame. But anyway, then we get time starting up, and all the clocks are going off as when Lisa and Mark are yelling at Johnny to wake up when he's dead on the floor.
We're hearing alarms when they're alarmed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
Oh, way to go, Tommy.
Yeah, bloody good. Good on you, mate. That's great. That's directorial insight.
Yeah.
Nice. Finally, we get the final shot of the movie. It was just a slow, like Denny comes in, crashes in. We're still getting we're getting time playing. We get a slow zoom out above Johnny dead, and we cut to the credits as the solo of time is just roaring in.
A rock and guitar solo, like every film should end with.
Yes. Oh, big agree. Yeah. So that's the film.
Yeah. So it takes us what? 2 full albums and then 3-4 songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
To wrap up the album, 3.5 really.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah. Overall sync rating of about, I want to say about 6 out of 10.
Nice.
There was that low ebb there.
Yeah.
And in the mid late section of the movie, just after the middle climax bit where we had a great sync. But yeah, 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, yeah. And it's not really
Pretty
anyone's
great.
fault. That's just a lull in the film. Like, Pink Floyd probably showed up to the studio and were like, well, what are we going to do with this? We kind of have nothing to do. Let's just write more of our classic hits. Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
We line up exactly. I want to say a quick thing. If they I'm not going to be able to say that it was Pink Floyd's intention to sync up their album with the movie, the 2003 movie The Room, unless we get a perfect 10 out of 10. That's my sweeping statement. Until we get a 10 out of 10, I'm going to say it wasn't intentional.
Okay.
I know that's a high bar, but I reckon I've got to set my standards in stone here.
Yeah.
We've got to get the perfect sync for me to say that it was completely intentional.
So you're saying every great sync we had was a coincidence?
I'm saying it wasn't intentional on Pink Floyd's part. It may have been intentional on Tommy Wiseau's part. But
and please, Tommy, if you're listening, call in and let us know.
Absolutely. I can't speak to Tommy's thoughts, but I'm going to say that it wasn't Pink Floyd's intention.
Okay, thank you.
Unless it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that seems very fair.
All right.
So
Got anything?
I found the final play of the album was when it synced to the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And probably if I was to rank the run-throughs of the album, that final third of it would be the best sync, and then the first one, and then the second one, which only had its couple great moments.
Yes, that second run through of the album was where the low ebb occurred.
Yeah.
And so I have to agree.
But it does thematically match the movie in that essentially all the action and like all the iconic scenes as well for like the meme lords to enjoy happen in the first third. And
Yes,
then
absolutely.
a lot of the second third is a repeat. Like they just talk about these previous scenes. They have sex scenes made up of old footage. Just, yeah, nothing really happens. Although we do get like Johnny's world beginning to fall apart and him notice it, which he didn't notice in the first run through of the album.
That's true.
Yeah.
It lets you in easy, really. It's like he's figuring it out along with the loops of the album. As the album layers itself in, the more he realizes.
Yes. He realizes he too is trapped in a repeat.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's great stuff. You got anything else to add, Gareth? Before we wrap it up.
I'm afraid I don't know. I think, I think we've nailed it. I think a 6 out of 10 not intentional sync is what we get with this one.
That's all right. We've I think we've covered this pretty succinctly.
Yeah.
All that's left to do is we've got to choose the next movie that we're going to be syncing it up. And I've got it.
I'm so excited. So I don't know what you're going to choose. So this is big for me.
I've got one in mind. I want us to sync up next the 2009 film Moon, directed by Duncan Jones.
Oh,
starring Sam Rockwell.
Yes. Okay.
Just I know it's a little on the nose, but I reckon that's going to have some quality syncs for us.
Yeah. That is a good call.
What do you reckon? Yeah, you keen for that?
Because the 70s rock star connection, the Moon connection.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Sweet. So look forward to that next episode. And until then, I've been James Barron.
I've been Gareth Blackler.
And this is Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
We'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
See you on the dark side of the moon. Bye.
Bye.